Channel. Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Beloved, and I'm back with a new recipe for the channel. Beloved Catering Service is a business where we make cakes, meat pies, ring donuts, samosa, spring rolls, and all kinds of fruit drinks and fruit juices, especially sobolo. We also make jollof rice and fried rice for all events and occasions. You can contact us with the information provided on your screen. Guys, as we all know, this is a very festive season, and also this month stands for the most precious month in my life because it's your girl's birthday this month and there's a whole lot to be celebrated. Since this month is my birthday month and also Christmas, I would like to call this month December to remember. Oh yes, it's indeed December to remember. And with that being said, I want to seize this opportunity to wish each and every December born here a very happy birthday. Not forgetting myself as well. And I would also like to wish each and everyone a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We hope that next year brings us so much good and so much happiness and also strong faith in God. Today's video will be in 2 parts. I have been trying to upload this recipe since Sunday morning, but there was a bit of a technical challenge, so the video will be in part 1 and part 2. In today's video, we are going to be making a palette knife painted 8-layer cake for my little sister. Ingredients for the cake include 8 tablespoons of Dutch processed cocoa powder, 350 grams of condensed milk, 3 cups of buttermilk, 850 grams of all-purpose flour or soft flour, 12 tablespoons of cornstarch, 4 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, 1.5 tablespoons of powdered salt, 12 room temperature eggs, 4 tablespoons of white vinegar, 650 grams of white sugar, 4 tablespoons of vanilla essence, and 2.5 cups of vegetable oil. Ingredients for the buttercream include 500 grams of butter, 1,000 grams of confectionery sugar, purple gel food color, white gel food color, electric pink food color, golden sprinkles, and then for the finishing touches we will be using a birthday cake topper and the palette knife. Let's get started. Preheat your oven for 5 to 10 minutes at 160 degrees Celsius. After that is done, grease your baking tins and then set them aside. Today we are using a very popular method in baking, which is called the creaming method. And this is where the sugar and the butter are creamed together until light and fluffy and there are no sugar granules in the butter. This is convenient to use if you don't have a mixer at home. After mixing the sugar and the butter to look like this, add in the eggs one at a time and then stir vigorously. After that, add in the vanilla essence and then stir as well. Now add in the oil and then stir it together. Now pour the flour into a sieve on top of a mixing bowl. Sift it into the mixing bowl. Then add in the cornstarch, the baking powder, the baking soda, and the salt. After sifting that one, use the whisk to stir everything together and then set it aside. Now pour the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Use the spatula to stir it together gently and then pour it into your baking tins. Now pop it into the oven for about 20 minutes at 160 degrees Celsius. And then when it's done, take it out of the oven. Let it cool in the baking tin for about 10 minutes and then flip it onto a cooling rack to cool down completely. With the second cake, we are going to be using the hand mixer instead of the creaming method. With this, coat the baking tin with the homemade cake mix. Pour into another mixing bowl 1 cup of the vegetable oil, 1 cup of the butter, and then 1 cup of the white sugar. And then use the hand mixer to combine everything together until light and fluffy. When the mixture becomes fluffy, add in the eggs 2 at a time under 3 minutes first. And then continue mixing until it combines with the mixture. Half of the buttermilk. Mix it together with the aid of the hand mixer and then set it aside. With the same process, sift the dry ingredients. After the dry ingredients have been sifted, set it aside and then pour into a measuring cup the cocoa powder. Add in 1 cup of hot boiling water. Give it a mix and then set it aside. Now pour the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients and then mix it. Add in half of the chocolate mixture. Continue stirring it together. Introduce another half of the dry ingredients into the mixture. Mix it together. And then add in the rest of the chocolate mixture. Combine everything together and then introduce into the mixture half of the condensed milk. The chocolate butter is ready. Pour it into the already greased baking tins and then pop it into the oven for 25 minutes at 160 degrees Celsius. Welcome to the part 2 of my sister's birthday cake making. Pour 3/4 cup of the sugar into a bowl. Then use the measuring spoon to transfer it into the drip bottle. Add in 3/4 cup of the full cream milk, a tablespoon of the vanilla essence, and then give everything a shake. When that is done, set it aside. This is our setup for decorating today. It includes all the ingredients, the tools, the turntables, the cake boards, and everything that we'll be needing for decorating and stacking the cake today. Pour 1 cup of the icing sugar into a sieve and then sift it to get rid of lumps that might be in it. Now scoop the butter into another mixing bowl, spatula to soften it, and then fluff it up with the aid of the hand mixer until the butter looks slightly lighter than it was at first. Now use the measuring spoon to fetch the icing sugar into the butter bit by bit whilst you use the hand mixer to stir it together. Do this until the icing sugar is incorporated into the butter. Then add in 1 tablespoon of the vanilla essence, 1/4 cup of the full cream milk, and then continue combining it with the hand mixer. Now to change the shade of the butter into a slightly off-white, add in some of the white food color and then a few drops of the violet gel food color. Mix everything together and this is the shade of the color that I needed. With the aid of a round cookie cutter, cut into the middle parts of the cakes and then set it aside. Then intersect it with the aid of the cake pieces you placed aside. Do so like you see in the video. And this is how it should look at the end. Scoop the frosting into a piping bag. Twist the end of the piping bag and then set it aside. Now place the cake board into the turntable and secure it with the aid of a solution tape underneath. Pipe some of the frosting onto the cake board. Use the offset spatula to spread it nicely on the board. Place onto the board the first cake layer. Drizzle it with some of the milk vanilla syrup. Pipe the frosting onto it and then use the offset spatula to spread the frosting on it gently. Now place onto it the second cake layer. Drizzle it with some of the frosting
and then pipe some of the frosting onto it. Use the offset spatula to spread the frosting on the surface of the cake, and then do this for the rest of the cake layers until all the cakes are stacked. With the aid of the offset spatula, scoop some of the frosting onto the cake and then crumb coat it. Ensure that as you crumb coat it, every part of the cake is covered completely. You can achieve this perfect look when you place the cake layers in the freezer right after it cools off on your cooling rack, and that is what I did here. Now place the cake into the freezer for about 20 minutes. This will help it get a bit firm so that the final coating will look very nice. As the cake was chilling in the fridge, I made the second batch of the buttercream. So when I took it out, I started piping some swirls into it. And this is what I used to cover the cake completely, which served as the final coat. With this part, I used 2 disposable cups to mix part of the frosting with both the pink and purple food color. Then I used the palette knife to put flower patterns on both the top and sides of the cake until both the top and sides were completely covered. With the aid of a pearl picker, I picked some of the gold pearls onto the middle parts of the flower patterns on the cake. Then I added the star sprinkles as well. After that, I introduced onto the top of the cake toppers that we'll be using today. Into another piping bag, I placed the small star tip and then scooped some of the frosting into it. Then I decided to use it to decorate the girly cake topper on the cake to give it kind of a dress look. And guys, here you have it. This is our palette knife painted cake, an 8-layer cake to be precise. And this brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and turn on your post and notification icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video to the channel. Also, I would like to say Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to each and every one of you. May God see you through this year and also the year ahead. Till we meet again, dear viewers. Bye-bye.